Be a person of worldly intelligence, if you desire to sit with kings. The man who only carries the limited scope of his village will be a laughingstock. Travel far and wide, and you shall possess the secrets of man. When fear leads the way, the destination is never glorious. As one candle can light another, so too can greatness of mind be transferred amongst men. To remain in solitude is to deprive oneself of this kindling. Take care with your speech. It can be the catalyst for many needless problems. You never know who could be lending an ear to your ramblings. If you desire to claim a place in the world, arise early. The slothful wolf starves, and the sleeping man rarely sees victory. Understand that a storm can change its course without warning. Always be prepared to brave a storm. Defeat your enemies in the fields before they reach your house. No matter how cautiously you live, there is no escaping the fatal clutches of old age. So then, better to join the fray and fight proudly for something worth obtaining. A good friend speaks truly and from the heart. The one whose speech is always pleasant cannot be trusted.
Let no man glory in the greatness of his mind, but rather keep watch over his wits. Cautious and silent let him enter a dwelling. To the heedful comes seldom harm. For none can find a more faithful friend than the wealth of mother wit. Wealth dies. Friends die. One day you too will die. But the thing that never dies is the judgment on how you have spent your life. It is fortunate to be favored with praise and popularity. It is dire luck to be dependent on the feelings of your fellow man. Wealth may vanish in the wink of an eye. Gold is the falsest of friends. There's no excuse for a man who rejects the truth once it's proven. Even in the sheath, the sword must be sharp. So too must the mind and the spirit be within the body. An ill-tempered, unhappy man ridicules all he hears, makes fun of others, refusing always to see the faults in himself. Where you recognize evil, speak out against it, and give no truces to your enemies. The cautious guest who comes to the table speaks sparingly, listens with ears, learns with eyes. Such is the seeker of knowledge. When truth and fairness are different from what is law, better it is to follow truth and fairness. Fate and fortune do not always go hand in hand.
What will be etched into history about your life? What legend will be left long after you're gone? How have you made this world better? Ponder these questions daily. There is always a sage wiser, and a warrior bolder than yourself. Be careful not to become too comfortable. Boastful thinking and exclamations of one's brilliance attracts misfortune into one's life. Live humbly, with quiet confidence, and troubles will rarely beset you. Enemies often lurk in the shadows around corners. It would be wise to check them before venturing forth on your path. Moderate yourself ruthlessly. Allowing greed to consume you will bring nothing but sorrow. The critical man is quick to point the finger and causes much dismay amongst others. He is unknowing that he too shares in their faults. Lying awake in the night battling with ill thoughts offers no solutions. You rise unrested and in no better position than before.
The traveler must train his wits. All is easy at home. He who knows little is a laughingstock amongst men of the world. Often there is regret for saying too much, and seldom regret for saying too little. The cowardly man thinks he'll live forever if he keeps away from fighting, but old age won't grant him a truce, even if spears spare him. There is more honor in accumulating little by little than in reaching for the sky and ending up flat on your face. A person should not agree today to what they'll regret tomorrow. I was once young. I was traveling alone and lost my way. I thought myself rich when I met another. Man is the joy of man. Ill it is to abandon honor and integrity in exchange for injustice and greed. Speak useful words, or be silent. Blessed is he who in his own lifetime is awarded praise and wit, for ill counsel is often given by mortal men to each other. Better a brief spell of honor than a long rule of shame. The unwise man is awake all night and ponders everything over. When morning comes, he is weary in mind, and all is as burdensome as ever. Wisdom is welcome wherever it comes from. Be wary of the man who urges an action in which he himself incurs no risk.
No matter if your dwelling is a fragile shack of sticks and mud, it is valuable to have a home. Nothing crushes a man's spirit more than having to beg. Joyous is he who shares in his riches. The coward hoards and lives in fear, rarely delighting in the fortune that seldom comes his way. Do not be ashamed of having simple clothing. Pay more attention to your hygiene and demeanor. Do not be fooled by money. It makes the most unreliable friend. Give praise for each day, regardless of what fate brings. When the winds are harsh, one should chop wood. In fair weather, row out to sea. In the romantic glow of candlelight, passionately talk with a woman. Use a ship for travel, a shield for defense, and a sword for striking. Everything has its time and place. Common sense is your best friend.
Better it is to have a lower position in life and be free than to have a position of power only to be subject to the will of another. All guests should speak well of their host, or not speak at all. A person's actions are often worse than their intentions. One should not bow before stupidity merely because it is old. A guest must depart again on his way, nor stay in the same place forever. If he bides too long on another's bench, the loved one soon becomes loathed. Never reproach another for his love. It happens often enough that beauty ensnares with desire the wise, while the foolish remain unmoved. A hungry wolf is bound to wage a hard battle. Affection is mutual when men can open their hearts to each other. He whose words are always fair is untrue and not to be trusted. All a people need in order to rise up against tyranny is a leader bold enough to take up the banner. Let none put faith in the first sown fruit, nor yet in his son too soon. Whim rules the child, and weather the field. Each is open to chance. Stubbornness brings either greater humiliation or greater honor. All the doorways before one enters should be looked around, should be spied out. It can't be known for certain where enemies are sitting in the hall ahead. Don't mess with ale if you are weak. A clear head is good company. Drink is a dangerous friend.